Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest. And today I am going to do a rare revisit of a foundation I've reviewed in the past. This is the Merit Minimalist stick. And hold on, I need to pause a scam phone call. The Merit Minimalist stick. This one has 10 additional shades that they have launched. So it now comes in 30 different shades and retails for $38. And I looked up how much product was in here and I already forgot. It is 0.23 ounces or 6.5 grams of product. Now, when I reviewed it previously, part of the problem was the shade I got was too light for me. And you know, that can just affect how things look on the skin. So I was really happy when they put more shades out because I didn't really have a good shade match in it initially. So there's 30 shades now. The one I've got is one of the new ones. It is Sandstone. And the new shades are across the range. They have a new deepest shade. There's a couple new in the deeper end. There's a couple new in the middle. And there's a couple new on the fair side. So the shade Sandstone is what I've got this time around. Now, this one is clean, vegan, cruelty-free. Here's how they describe it. A light to medium coverage that stays breathable all day. Fatty acids condition the skin and lock in moisture. Yes, they do. Sea daffodil extract helps diminish the appearance of pigmentation and dark spots. Love me a good daffodil. Doubles as a contour, not in this shade, it won't, but formulated without acne triggering ingredients, made with 43% recycled plastic, ships in their signature packaging that is either recyclable, reusable, or compostable. One thing I do like about the brand, I was very happy when Wayne Goss and Merit made up after their little brouhaha with the customer service snafu on Merit's end, because that had alarmed me just so significantly. But they made up, and thank you for letting me know, because I fell behind on my watching. And now I feel better again, because they do make some of the best products. Their mascara, granted, it is not as dramatic as I wear on a daily basis, but it holds up. I'll tell the story again. Their mascara, I have the mini one right in front of me. I went to a hot springs bath and had just a face of Merit on, just a few things, minimal makeup, and that stuff held up. That mascara did not smudge, drip, run, mark my face in any way after 30 minutes in a toasty hot springs mineral bath. And yeah, so anyway, let's take a look at Sandstone, swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation from Merit, the Minimalist stick in shade Sandstone. Second, I've got from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third up is MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. And last, I have from Wet n Wild, the Tinted Hydrator in Fair. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 50-year-old face. I have primed. I am loving the dupe. This is La Cura. It's the Aldi brand. It is a dupe for the Bobbi Brown vitamin-enriched face base. The ingredients are almost identical. It smells the same. It feels the same. It's performing the same on me. I've worn it under 4 or 5 different foundations at this point. Holy cow, you probably can't get it anymore. Keep your eye out for when it comes back. Check your Aldi just in case, but this is one of those weekly drops that usually sells out in a week and you're done. But I wish I went back and got more. I did not. But that is what I have primed already with. Let's get these bangs out of the way. I do have a damp sponge, and I've got my Artis Oval 7 brush. The one that looks like a spoon, but is not a spoon. Let's do... Wow, my grays are just filling in and coming in, and holy cow. Cow is what I meant to say. It was cow and tamale were getting mixed up in my brain, and that's why that sounded weird. I'm going to use this for concealer as well. Let's just see how it goes. Now, a stick foundation, typically, I don't have the easiest time blending them out with sponges. I usually end up blending them out with a brush or my fingertips. But, this actually blends out fairly easily with a sponge. I am surprised. Color me surprised. Let's try and keep it half and half so we can see. Now, I was wearing my glasses for longer than usual this morning, so ignore the dents on my nose, because those are going to take about 6 hours to go away. If we get to the daylight check-in and they're gone, I'll be shocked. Now, one of the problems I had the first time I reviewed this, and it was a C grade, so it wasn't terrible, but it was clinging to a lot of dry skin. And I do have some dry skin right now on my upper lip and above my sort of eyebrow area. And I'm not seeing any problems just yet with clinging. Actually, it's not clinging to any. Like, I've got some flaking right here. Not clinging to anything yet. Looks okay on my nose. I am going to attempt to build it up once we get the brush side on here. But even with sponge, we're getting a little bit of redness correction. Can still see my sunspots poking through in a few spots. So let's get the other side with the brush. This color is much better for me. Much better. This is a neutral undertone. I tend to prefer cool undertone in the wintertime and neutral undertone the rest of the year, which lately has been making me buy neutral foundations more predominantly because I feel like I can wear neutral in the winter. It's just that when I'm as the palest of the pale for me, that tends to bring out my cool undertone and just a smidge of a cool undertone. And I prefer the look of cool, but I've been rolling neutral lately. There is a little bit more coverage with the brush. You do lose a little bit to the sponge, but I think they look the same as far as like the overall finish. So I would say whatever your preference, sponge or brush, go with that. And yeah, let's try and build this up a little bit. I'm going to try and cover my dark spots here. That's my sun damage from the driving side of my face. From not wearing sunscreen for an hour-long commute each way, we'll get my blue blood vessel right there. I'm just going to do a little swipey swipe. Try and cover up my little spots on my nose. Even out the coverage on this side just a little. Yeah, let's just go a little bit. It's a very soft stick, which I like because I feel like it's just easier to blend out then. I should take a little more under my eyes, I feel. I just applied a cat hair to my face. Let's see how buildable this is. Is it going to cooperate? Now, adding product to my nose, that's me getting very, very brave. Because you know my nose can be a point of contention. Now I'm going to just take some on my, because I like how it's looking. I like the finish right now. I'm going to take a little on my fingers and kind of get into that trough for my inner corners. Yeah, we're just gonna go all out here. We are just gonna use it for everything. Now the format of the stick, I do feel like it would be easy to use as far as if you did want to use it as a contour stick. It's a good small shape for that, I think. Let's get the nostrils. Which doesn't really matter because you know I'm going to blow my nose later. Alright, let's get this capped up so it doesn't dry out. And let's get a look up close and see what we are dealing with. It builds up, but I'm going to say don't go too heavy on the buildup because I feel like in my texture here, we are like right on the borderline of having too much product. So I'm just kind of tapping it out to get any excess off of here. Actually, that helped a lot. So, oh, there's that cat hair again. Maybe that's just the trick. Don't go too heavy. All right. Let me zoom you guys in. Did I zoom you in already? I don't even know. Let me zoom you in here. Very nice finish. I would call this satin matte. It is not too reflective, not too dewy, but it does not look dry. I am still able to see some reflect. I can almost see the product on my nose, but again, we could be in a situation where it just needs to warm up to my skin and my body temperature, and then it'll settle down. As concealer, my one concern is going to be that it's going to freeze my under eye lines in place, but I'm going to need a few minutes to find out if that's happening. I'm seeing my lines. It's smoothing, but then as it sits, it's kind of freezing them. So let's find out if that's going to continue. It does not look heavy between my eyebrows. It does not look like it's settling into any of my forehead lines. It's not settling into my smile lines. It doesn't seem to be doing anything unusual, actually. I would say it's a light medium coverage built up, and I don't think I would attempt to build it any higher. They called it light to medium, so I think they're in the ballpark. It's your skin but better, but it actually does have some coverage. So bravo there. I'm kind of liking it at the moment. It's not clinging to anything. Like, here's my dry, flaky, this side especially is my flaky part. And this is where I usually have clinging issues, right in between that little textured area between my eyebrows, and it's not clinging there. It's not clinging anywhere. Ooh, could we have a good one on our hands? Let's check the time. 12:24 p.m. Let me go put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. All right, back with the Merit Minimalist stick. This is going way better than the last review. No issues with clinging to my dry skin. Nothing's moving around, nothing's settling. Even my nose seems to have settled down, melted in, whatever you want to call it. We're in good shape right now, so I'm pleased. What's on my face? You're not going to be surprised with any of this. I'm kind of in a Mist Haven kind of jam recently with the lighter shades in the palette. I've been basically just rolling this far column and then that center, which I know it looks gray, but it's actually got like a pink shift to it. It's really pretty. That's what I've been doing lately on my eyes. Essence Stay in Play is my tight line. I'm very much enjoying the L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal Mascara. You definitely need a double cleanse to wash it all the way off, which is not what I expect when they explicitly call it a washable mascara. However, you know, it is a little hard to wash off, but it doesn't flake so much. Like, it's a pretty well-behaved mascara. I even wore it on my lower lash line the other day. It did flake a little bit, but not as bad as most. So I am really enjoying this one. My blush and bronzer. I thought I left them out to show you, but I did not. I left one of them out. No surprise. Wet and Wild. What's Up Beauty Cheek Terre in Deep with a very light hand. I love the red undertone of it as the bronzer. And then back to my old standby, my Lawless Juicy Watermelon. Also wearing Lawless Juicy Watermelon on my lips, which that is on top of my brand new lip treatment. This is the Geek Out of Water Smoothing Lip Treatment. If you want ongoing plumped lips and not just because you burned your face off, no irritation, no burning, actual treatment to improve the conditions that are causing your lips to not look plump in the first place, that is what that lip product is for. I think Juicy Watermelon is my favorite colorway that Lawless has ever put out. I love it so much. You know, I've been wearing this for like a year and a half now. I'm pretty sure it wasn't this past summer. It was the summer before. Maybe it was this past summer. I think it was a year ago. Love that color, but they still have it, so it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Maybelline Super Lock for my brows. Is that all the makeup? I think that's all the makeup. I'm gonna go to work. First day of classes. It's okay. I just do syllabus day. I can't handle any more than that on day one. So I'm gonna go to work. I'll get you guys a daylight check-in, and it is we're up to 17 degrees. The high is 20 today. Fahrenheit. Not a fan. Not a fan of this at all. I'm going to have to wear my Chicago winter coat today because it is very cold outside. So yeah, then I'll get you a daylight check-in in the freezing cold. And then I'll come back tonight, give you guys my final thoughts. 8:39 p.m. That puts us right around the 8-hour mark. Let's take a look at how the Merit Minimalist stick held up. Normally, I would go longer on reviews, but it is so cold. The heat at work, in my office, and in my classrooms was not keeping up. It is now single digits outside, and I am like frozen to the core. So I'm going to go stand in a very hot shower and then put a million layers around me and huddle with blankets and cats. So I need to wrap this up because my face isn't going to last through a hot shower. So let's check this one out. No complaints as far as comfort, dryness, wear, feeling, everything feels good. No issues in terms of wearability. Side note, has nothing to do with the foundation. I just want to say it before I forget. I did have more flaking of my mascara today than I have on the previous 3 days that I've worn this. So that was unusual and unpleasant. Don't know why. Didn't apply it any different than before. But foundation. Let's zoom in. Take a good look here. I did have to blow my nose. Are you surprised? So ignore the missing product. But the way the product is missing, and it's actually still very present on the rest of my nose, makes me feel like this coverage stays put. You know, it didn't disappear all over my nose the way a lot of foundations do. My blush and bronzer are still visible. My textured side of my face actually looks quite smooth, which I didn't really notice when we first applied this, but I'm noticing it now. And so I would say at the 8-hour mark, for this to be doing such a nice job with blurring of even pores and texture, pretty nice. I've lost a little coverage on my chin, but forehead looks fine. It doesn't look like anything has really settled or moved around, but I can still see my bronzer in place. Nothing in my deepest forehead lines. It's a little bit coverage missing under my eyes, so it didn't stay put as well there, but nothing strange happening, nothing moving around. Did not freeze my lines in place. I was a little nervous about that, a little worried about that. It's not clinging to any of my dry skin or any of the flakes on my upper lip here. This is the experience I expected from this stick when I first tried it, because I have had incredibly good luck with Merit products, and I was surprised that the stick wasn't my favorite thing, and this is what I expected. This is what I was looking for. This is what I was going for. So I will say it very well could be that the shade being too light impacted how it looked on my skin. That does happen. It is a thing, which is part of why you'll notice I'm tending toward, if I have to pick a shade and I'm not sure what to pick, I will pick the closer to light versus the closer to fair, just to make sure, because I can go a little too dark just as easily as I can go a little too light, and I feel like it's easier to disguise going a little too dark with the foundation than it is to bronze it up and make it look better when it's too fair. So yeah, if I had to give a grade, Merit Minimalist, this is what I wanted from you. This is what I was looking for. This is what I expected. It's an A. It's lovely. It's freaking lovely. It's lovely. I like the finish. I like the wear. I like the comfort. I like the coverage, because it's one of those trickly minimalist products. It's a Your Skin But Better, but with coverage. Because normally when brands say they've got a Your Skin But Better or a no makeup thing, it's very sheer or very light coverage. This has coverage, and you know I like my coverage. I have childhood trauma from having freckles all my life. I don't like when you can see my sunspots or my freckles in the summertime. So yeah, bravo, Merit. I'm yay! Very excited. Very excited. I like the shade too. It's it's a true neutral, I would say. It makes me want to attempt to find a shade that's just a smidge on the cool side for wintertime, but this one's good. I can make this work. It's all good. It's all good. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you had fun with this one, give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments. What should I try next? I've already pulled up in the last couple of videos all the foundations I have. A few of you have requested the Kill cover. That one is out on my vanity so that I get to it. The Dior is probably, those are the top two that will be coming ASAP. I have a bunch of them from Yes Style that you saw. Ziva's like, let's go to bed. Let's go to bed. Right, Ziva? Let me know what you would like to see next. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.